Welcome back to the F124 driver career. We have another sprint weekend, this time around in Brazil. And fingers crossed this time around we can actually complete the sprint weekend. Because last time we had a sprint in the United States, we got a third of the way through the race. And then the MG UK decided to wet itself and just stopped functioning. So we were able to get... Well, we were close to getting, should I say more accurately, a decent result in Mexico. In the end, it just didn't quite work for us, and we dropped down to 14th, but there were points on the board in Mexico. If you missed the last episode, there was potentially very, very important... what's the brain? My brain died. Secret meeting. Very, very important secret meeting in the last episode that might well have decided our future. Charles Leclerc has DNF'd 3 times in the last 6 races, which is not great for his Ferrari career. Carlos Sainz has only finished on the podium once in the last 10 plus races, which is not great for his Ferrari career. So, might we be taking one of their seats next season? We shall wait and see in due course. Everything's set up for a decent Brazilian Grand Prix. It's a fantastic track to race at. Do enjoy racing here. Tend to set up for the middle sector and then use the battery to counteract the pace in the DRS zones, but haven't driven the track on this game yet, so I don't know whether it's perhaps a little bit more favourable to maybe prioritise straight line speed this year. We shall wait and see. We have, of course, only one practice session to figure that out, though, unfortunately. So let's go and figure it out, shall we? Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll join you after practice. How are they using medium tyres in practice when they're not supposed to be available? That's weird. 260 resource points. Didn't do well in that session. I don't feel very competitive in Brazil at all, which is not great when you've only got the one practice session to try and tweak with setup and minimal amount of tyres available to you. So they shouldn't have had access to the medium tyre in that session. It should have been the same as me, 1 set of softs and 1 set of hards, which is annoying, and I'll certainly feed that back. I'm going to put in a new ICE here. I only got 1 MG UK left. I'm going to put in a new turbo and a new gearbox. Do I need a new gearbox? No, gearbox is okay. So new turbo and new ICE here. This is why I'm thankful for the sprint race, because if those new components are going to fail, then they should fail early doors in the sprint qualifying or sprint race and not in full qualifying or the full race. But this one might not be that good for us.
To go.
That's a mistake. Gonna cost me time.
30 seconds left in the session.
Cost me a lot of time. And now is the bit of the track where we're at our weakest. Oh, I need a low 1.8 really if I can get one. And that is a 1.87. It's good enough for P15 as we cross the line. But others are going to go faster. Others have gone faster. That is us out of SQ1 in SQ1. Well, out of sprint qualifying in SQ1 is the way I should phrase that, isn't it? The mistake in the middle sector ultimately I think is going to be what costs us there. There was maybe another 10th and a half on the table. But we are looking like we're going to start the sprint race from last. I am going to start the sprint race P20. That is not great news at all. So that mistake in the middle sector cost me maybe 3 or 4 tenths. And 3 or 4 tenths was probably about where we were in terms of getting through. Daniel and Logan not on the pace. I was a little bit further back. And then, I mean, it's so close in a lap that's this short, as you can quite clearly see. Less than a tenth separating the top 5 there in SQ1. So we'll see how the sprint race goes. If that's terrible, then well, no, I'm not gonna lower the difficulty. I was gonna say I might consider lowering the difficulty a little bit for the race, but there have been races where we've been quick, and there have been races where we haven't at 105, and I'm just gonna take it on the chin. If I'm shit at Brazil, then I'm shit at Brazil. I never used to be shit at Brazil, but maybe I am this year.
Okay, we might be at the back of the grid and it's not the best place to start, but keep your chin up and push hard. It's Formula 1. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Everyone else, other than Sergio Perez, starting on the mediums. Ideally, it wants me to start on the mediums because of my poorer tyre wear. But because of DRS, I might have much better tyre wear on the mediums, but they'll DRS gap me away, and the gap that they'll earn by DRS training away from me, I will not be able to overcome by having a better tyre at the end of the race. So I'm going to put the soft on, and we're going to have to take some pain here in this sprint race, but hopefully it's good information for the main race at least. Here we go then, a 24-lap sprint race is underway. Tried to short shift, the automatic gearbox didn't like it. Go wide here. Try and get around the outside of Sargent, to then have the inside of Sargent, to then have the outside of Sargent. Never mind, that didn't work. Bit of battery then. He's gone defensive. I'll take the slipstream here, then maybe try and go around the outside of Sargent again. No, it's just not enough room. Okay, well, we'll stay P20 for now then. This is going to be a long slog of a weekend, lads. Hopefully there's plenty of entertainment in it for you, but there might not be a World Championship point finish at the end of the full Grand Prix, but you never know. You do have the opportunity still against AI in Brazil to do moves like that on occasion, and we might be able to pull something out the bag if there's some craziness that happens. I'll do it again here. Excuse me, Daniel, I would like to come through, please. He's still very much against the idea of me coming through. He's gone defensive into Junsao. Okay, a decent exit, power up the hill with some battery. Alright, one position per lap would see me win the sprint. That's our plan then, is it? Hey, go on then.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
I think he locked up there. I might have spooked him a little bit flying up the inside, and I think he locked up his front left tyre. Saw a little puff of white smoke. 6 feet down the ground. That's my one position for this lap. We're getting there. Operation Win the Brazilian Sprint Grand Prix is well underway. Softs will do 20... Oh, hello, Daniel. That's Logan. Bloody hell. Softs will do 24 laps here. They just will be pretty dead by the time we get there. Logan Sargent fighting back here and getting the job done.
Lost the position, trying to keep focus.
Just the pace now, Williams is so good. We are strong in this middle sector. Can't help feel that my strength in the middle sector is outweighed by my weakness down the straight. Right, Logan's going to be vulnerable now because he's not got DRS. Is he going to leave racing room? He decides to make a couple of jinks left and right there. Weren't particularly comfortable to be alongside the car whilst doing, but try and get him into turn 4 instead. Again, using a lot of battery here. I'm going to go super aggressive and squeeze my way through. Get out of the way, Logan. Now Ricciardo might well take Sargent as well, but Sargent's going to have the inside line for this right-hander. Right, can we close the gap to those in front? Or are the three of us at the back here now just cut off Rear tyres are hot too. That could be a factor. Well, it's definitely a factor. It's the first time we've really struggled with tyre temps anywhere. I'll be honest, lads. I think I might just retire.
Push. Use your overtake button. Let's go.
Overheating right-hand side of tyre, or right-hand side tyres even. Just going to make this miserable, really. We've not encountered overheating tyres anywhere this year. Last year on 23, with being on controller and having ABS turned on, tyre temperature issues were a thing, and they had been for a few years actually. This year that has been completely taken out of an effect, which has been delightful because I've never had to worry about tyre temps anywhere. But here, I mean, it's massive. 109 on the rear left compared to 105, 110 now.
Keep managing your tyres. Manage your tyres.
I can't manage my tyres. Daniel's locked up and gone long. And then, you know what? How did that not... Oh, that was polystyrene. How did that not take a tyre off? Oh, I was trying to crash. I'm retiring. Right, we're going to tweak the setup for the main Grand Prix, because in the sprint, that was not it. It was possibly the worst part of any race I've ever had on this game so far, and I'm at a complete loss as to why that's the case. The car handles weirdly, the traction's strange. It feels like a completely alien circuit to what I'm used to on previous games. I don't understand Brazil. P20, the AI are just so fast here. Or I'm so slow. We've not experienced this all season, other than maybe Bahrain at the very beginning of the game when I had no experience on it. But I'm going to lower the difficulty for this race and this race alone. Otherwise, there would be no point making a video, because it would be 71 laps of me being last, which isn't fun for anyone to watch. I'll only drop it from 105 to 103, but it seems like the right thing to do in this situation.
Quick look at the grid
we did nothing but die at the end of qualifying. Alonso on pole and George second.
George Russell.
Where's Verstappen then? He's been falling off for it. Since he won his championship, he's just fallen off the face of the earth. Max Verstappen. So have both Red Bulls apparently. Perez in 7th only. Surely Verstappen's taken a penalty to be this far down. Yes. Verstappen in 11th, which says to me he qualified pole and took a 10th-place grid penalty. Do I get to start any higher? Because Lando's taken a penalty as well. No, I'm still dead last. All right. Well, we've dropped the difficulty from 105 to 103 for this race solely.
There's literally only one direction we can go from here, so try and move forward and see if we can get something out of it.
It reckons I could one-stop it, and it would be the faster way to do this Grand Prix. I might have to. There are some more medium runners than there were in the last race, but I've never been this stumped by a race before in my life. It's really, really strange. Fuel was fine in the sprint race, so I'm going to put 3 laps worth of fuel in over rather than the nearly 4. I could probably run even less, but I'd be apprehensive to do so. I can't see what everyone else is running fuel-wise at the moment, which is a shame, but... Well, here goes quite literally probably nothing. I'm not even going to bother with a prediction, chat, because it's pointless, I think. Nothing worked in the sprint race at all, with significantly different wing setups. Nothing really changed in qualifying, but in race trim, we might have slightly better luck. I hope we've got slightly better luck, otherwise this is going to be a very short video for you, isn't it? And I hope it's not. Lando and Esteban having a bit of a fight. I've got a bit of a cutback on here. If I use some battery and maybe get a bit of a slipstream off Lando, is it brave to go up the inside? It's probably stupid to try to go up the inside. I've gone up the inside and I've made 2 places. I still don't think that the drop from 105 to 103 is going to make me fly past absolutely everybody. Certainly not. But I'd like to at least be as competitive here as I have been in previous rounds of the Grand Prix and still have some fun. We are trying to make entertaining content at the end of the day. And me being last for 71 laps isn't fun for anybody involved. On the medium tyre though, it is going to be hard to be competitive in the opening stages. Are you going to give that up? He's not going to give that up. Albon hanging it out. We'll use some battery now to get away. I'm running much less downforce, considerably less downforce in this race than I was in the sprint. So hopefully we'll be more competitive in a straight line.
We can now use DRS.
And fingers crossed we can just keep up through the corners. DRS now active obviously after 1 lap. But everyone else being on soft tyres, or mostly everyone else being on soft tyres, is going to mean that they're significantly faster than me in these early stages. So staying within DRS ranges can be even more important than it was previously.
Battery charge is high.
I might just have to... Jesus, he cut across me there. I might just have to settle for sitting behind a soft runner. I mean, he cut across me, mate, so... I just have to settle for sitting behind a soft runner, sorry, and getting dragged along rather than actually being too competitive in the opening 5 to 10 laps, and then our tyres should hopefully start to come back towards us and make us more competitive again. Who knows at this point? It's an absolute unknown now what's going to happen at this Grand Prix. What's temps looking like? Still definitely hot on that rear right, aren't we? But not yet too hot. Someone's had a massive lock up there and gone straight on. Not sure who it was. Sergio Perez by the looks of things, and everyone's backed up a little bit. You don't want to do that, Checo, because that's just not going to give you any sort of chance of signing a new contract at Red Bull, is it? Going very defensive into 4. This could get slow through here. Another lock up from someone. Little lock up. Perhaps from one of the Williams in front. Bottas and Sergio Perez side by side here. Bottas actually gets the move done. I'm going to try and cut to the inside here. Maybe we can have a look at one of the Williams. It's going to have the inside line here, though. Well, we're more competitive at 103, but I'm certainly not racing around the outside of everybody, am I? Oh, just got it stopped. Bloody hell, that was close. I nearly ended up inside Logan Sargent's car then. Crucially, we did not. Wonder what would have happened in the sprint if I'd have just used the medium tyre. I probably would have just got dropped and disappeared into the background. But, oh well. We live and learn. We'll be back up at 105 for the next race at Las Vegas. Don't worry about that. I don't know how much of my tyre wear here in the sprint race on the softs came from my high tyre temps, or whether genuinely that's just the sort of tyre wear to expect on the soft compound here. If that is just the genuine level of tyre wear, then we should hopefully find that these mediums now, within the next 2 or 3 laps, might become the better tyre to be on, and we should start to make some progress. Checo quite simply just can't get away from Valtteri Bottas at the minute. Even though he's in a Red Bull, he is considerably struggling right now. Alex is definitely getting held up by his teammate. I can't seem to get past either of them right now. They get a better exit out here than me, and because of that, I'm not able to use that whole dive up the inside into the right-hander here technique that usually earns you a position or 7 in a Grand Prix. The rear does still feel quite light and floaty at certain areas as well. Where there's an elevation change or a little crest, back just wants to step out on you all the time. So I'm being very hesitant on the throttle. And at a track like this, you can't really afford to do that because it's just making you significantly slower. I can't take advantage of any sort of straight line speed advantage or tyre wear advantage at the moment because they're better than me in the traction zones, or they're more confident than me in the traction zones. So they're putting the power down earlier, and even though I'm gaining again by the end of the straights, because they've had that initial getaway, I can't reel them back in. This is going to be a very, very tactical race from here. Hopefully our one-stop works for us, but it's going to have to do wonders, I think, to see us move any further forward than where Checo is currently. Kind of hoping that when all the soft tyre runners box, that Lando can just kind of drag me along, because Lando on the mediums will be going longer.
Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us. 6.
And if I can just stick with him with DRS, then we could hopefully bring the strategy back to us. Hello, Alex. I'm getting a bit frustrated here. I don't know whether it's a good idea or not, though, to get aggressive, because if we get cut off from those in front, we'll end up falling backwards again, just like we did in the sprint. I might be
a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
Might be better suited, quite literally just biding my time and waiting. It's going to be frustrating in the short term, but hopefully in the long term it does pay off for us. Lando's still just chilling in P20 behind everybody. Can't get past Ocon because he's got DRS on me. Basically just classic DRS strain. Tsunoda's starting to fall backwards now. Or is that Tsunoda trying to make move? Well, no, Tsunoda's fallen backwards. It's Logan Sargent making a move on him there, which is odd because Tsunoda's on the medium tyres. Alright, we might have the opportunity to go for a lunge here on Alex again, maybe. If I can get a decent exit here. Which I haven't gotten. Okay, good. Cool. Lap 11 of 71. It is a grind right now. I'm starting to get a better run on people here now.
9.0 seconds. Great stuff, mate.
Hello,
You
Alex.
hit the target well there. Nice one. It's a long way to go in this race, though.
It might
so
be on the
keep your
medium,
head down.
but the softs are starting to show some weakness now. That was a proper Hail Mary lunge, but it worked. They can be 3 wide almost into turn 4. They are, you know. Bottas and Tsunoda. It's actually Bottas that's falling back now, and Tsunoda and Sargent the ones that are powering forward. Oh, Valtteri's really struggling. Valtteri's really struggling. That was particularly slow. We're going to need to get past him rather fast if we're to not get dropped by Sargent and Tsunoda here, I feel. I don't want to take a risk. There's no point well, rephrase. I will take a risk. I just don't. There's no point taking a stupid risk. There's no point doing something hastily and just throwing away our entire race for the sake of one overtake. And we should be able to get this. I'll use a little bit more battery here. We should be able to get Bottas. Ease off the brake pedal a little bit, roll the car in, and then we're through. And Sargent and Tsunoda battling hard now.
Great manoeuvre.
This is where the medium tyre is starting to come back to us, I think. This is going to be awkward. Oh, Yuki, don't jing like that, mate. That really put the willies up me. We're up to P15. Yeah, the soft tyres are dying. This is where the mediums start to show their strength. Although I'm 18% worn on the rear right already. So they're not lasting that well. Everyone that is stopping twice, basically every stint on every tyre, regardless of whether you're a 1-stop or a 2-stop or even maybe a 3-stop, is going to see your rear tyres shot here in Brazil. The rear tyres are not lasting. What that is caused by, I don't know, in terms of setup, but at the moment my rear tyres are dying, and you can quite clearly see that the soft tyres on everyone else are dying too. Excuse me, Logie. I'd like P14, please. Thank you. Now then, can we at all catch Daniel Ricciardo? That's why the gap to Daniel was closed.
4 seconds a lap.
Yeah. Daniel is struggle passing right now. Clearly a power issue of some description. And we should just have gotten within DRS range now as well, which will help. And we're just out of DRS range of Logan Sargent as well, which is even better, I think. We might just have done that on this lap. Checo making even more progress. He's past Zhou Guanyu now, and Daniel is really slow in a straight line. Tsunoda and Sargent having a bit of a battle. This should be very, very easy to take Daniel now into turn 4. And we'll try and close on those a little bit further up. Checo's on mediums too, which is going to help him in terms of his competitiveness at this stage of the race, similar to myself. 5 seconds of gap to Zhou. He's going to get dragged along a little bit by Checo though, unfortunately. We might now have the upper hand tyre wear wise, but then they'll all box off those soft tyres and have a significant upper hand. And then at the end of the race, there'll be a much fresher tyres as well when our hards are significantly worn. We may well run another set of something else at some point in this race, whether that's a soft or a medium, I don't yet know. I don't know what tyres I've got available to me actually. I'll have to have a look here. I've got new hards, I've got new softs, and that's it. No other medium tyres available to me right now. So we're just going to have to make do. But Zhou is now out of DRS range of Checo.
Right, keep pushing,
so
keep gaining on the car ahead.
Fingers crossed that gap should continue to come down to him. Now I'll try and use my battery as intelligently as I can to ensure that the gap does come down. When they're set to box off those softs, I don't know. But it can't be too much longer. Kevin's now been taken by both Red Bulls, and never mind, Kevin's back ahead of Sergio Perez. Having a bit of a ding-dong there. The soft-tyred runners are dying now. Very much so.
You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap.
We are not set to pit till lap 32. And we're already at 27% on the rear right. And we've got to do another 50% of what we've already done again, plus. So we are going to be feeling it, to say the least, in the not too distant future. But they've gone a long way on these softs. They really have. They're absolutely nowhere. The undercut, well not the undercut, just the extra stop must just be so strong compared to the one stop for most drivers. Not for myself, with my tyre wear and tyre temps at the moment. 112 degrees on the rear right. There you go, Russell and Sainz in off their softs onto mediums. The first stops are starting to happen on lap 20. So now is where we become from the hunter to the hunted. And they'll box and come out behind us and start to chase us down again. We'll whack on a hard set on lap 31 or 2. But the longer these soft runners go, the better it is for us. Because we're more competitive right now than they are. And I need that. If we're to make this one-stop strategy work, I need to be more competitive than them with a tyre advantage for as long as possible. I have a feeling that as long as possible is only really going to last about another lap or so. Fernando is in from the lead of the race. It's not even lasted half a lap. They're in. It's happening now. Yep, there you go. Gasly's in as well. He was the other one on the softs, wasn't it? Kevin's in too. Zhou, however, intriguingly, is not. Does that mean that Valtteri's coming in from behind and they're prioritising actually the car that's further back? Zhou currently running P7. They are prioritising Valtteri Bottas at Sauber. That's intriguing. Or maybe they're trying to protect him from the group that are with him, because he was at the front of a handful of cars and they don't want him to get undercut. So actually it does make sense to box the further back car first before then boxing Zhou this next lap coming up. I'm going to have to overtake him through the middle sector here, unfortunately, because he's just going to be so slow that I'm going to lose more time being stuck behind him than I am going to gain by having DRS down to the line. Intriguingly, we're actually closing on Sergio Perez, though.
Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake.
He's still got better traction than me in the traction zones, just around the corners. He's not got the turning power. George Russell's arriving, though, isn't he? Look, 1.3 seconds behind and closing fast. Very fast, as it happens. Jesus Christ. So we'll have DRS here. Whoop, steady. Zhou Guanyu will box and we'll race off into the middle distance. And George will very soon be past me as well. Fernando Alonso's right behind him too. Russell sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:10.3. I just did a 1:12.2. So I'm effectively 2 seconds slower right now than those on fresh mediums. And that was with DRS on Zhou Guanyu, although I did get held up in the middle sector, I guess. So we're now not boxing for another 9 laps or so. However, I might pit slightly earlier to try and nullify the undercut that everyone else will have on us. I don't want to lose too much time. Be curious to know what we're going to come out, or where we're going to come out, should I say. And quite rightly spotted by Jordan in live chat is that Alonso has gone soft here, which is a surprise. Maybe a 3-stop from Aston Martin. You can quite clearly see the pace difference between myself and George. I'm using a lot of battery here to try and defend, but he's just going to be crawling all over me. I'll go defensive, but there's not really much I can do about this. He's through, and Fernando is going to be through very, very soon as well, because he's on an even softer compounder tyre that's just as fresh. Pierre Gasly with a 1:10.1. I wonder if Gasly's gone soft as well. He has. So's Kevin. Okay. Well, because they're running the soft tyres 20-odd laps, 22 laps, they're probably soft mediuming, which is definitely not something I've got in my locker, because quite frankly, my soft tyres overheat. Chat, do I box next lap, whack the hards on, significantly stop sooner than previously planned, and then whack some softs on at the end? I am significantly tempted to do exactly that. Go on, Fernando, through you go. I'm going to box this lap.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
I'm going to go, rather than do the medium hard 1-stop, we're going to go medium hard soft 2-stop. I'll whack the hard on now. We'll go to the softs later. And then if there's a safety car comes out, we might just have to switch to a soft. Okay, hard tyre then, pitting from P10.
Go. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that.
So we're out in 15th amongst the soft runners at the moment. Lando 10 seconds down the road is still going on that original set of mediums. So he's, I presume, still running the 1-stop that we were previously scheduled to do. So he'll be stopping about lap 32 or 33, which is where we were originally scheduled to do so. These hard tyres will take us to the end, even from here. But I do feel like, whoops, we're going to have to run the softs at some point. towards the end. I think we've got 2 sets of softs available if we need to go soft ourselves. We should do anyway, from our lack of qualifying performance. Or at least a set of softs that are new and then a set of softs that are only slightly used. These guys behind on soft tyres now are going to be rapid though, so I'm going to have to get my elbows out. And my elbows might not be enough, really, but as long as I can stick with them. This then, I believe, is probably our next position because everyone now has 1 stop left to make. I used all of my battery to defend down the main straight, so I've got none left to defend down here.
Let's try and close up the difference between them.
Logan Sargent is through. I will try desperately to cling onto the back of him. Tyres are up to temperature, so hopefully the hards can do the job. They put their softs on slightly earlier, so they will have close to 10% wear already on those soft tyres, so they won't be ideal. They will have lost their peak performance, but their just slightly less than peak performance might still be better than my hard tyres peak performance. We'll find out, shall we? 1, 2, 3, off we go again. Might actually just take Logan here. Got the ERS and DRS to do so, so just get the job done. They put those softs on lap 22, I want to say. Yeah, lap 22. Those softs are going to be dying already, especially comparatively to the hards. They're going to be 11 laps old now. Their wear is going to... The wear on the soft is so high around Brazil. But they still run long stints on it. These mediums are 6% worn rear right.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by.
After
2.0 seconds.
I can't remember however many laps we've done now. When did we box? Lap 27, maybe? Lap 26. So they're going at less than 1% a lap, but obviously there's still a long way. There's still a long way to go. Medium runners from the front are now in. I wonder if Tsunoda and Norris are going to do the same. Tsunoda does. Sorry, Norris does. And Tsunoda does. So they're going to switch to the hard tyre. And they're going to do the same strategy that we were originally going to do. And we'll see what works for them compared to ourselves. We're up to P13 here now. Still can't quite shake Sargent and co out of DRS range. Hopefully we can gain on Zhou Guanyu as his softs will continue to get worse and worse. Then they'll go to medium tyres at the end and be very competitive. Zhou Guanyu is really slow.
You're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres.
Don't hit me, Zhou. Don't hit me and I'll try not to hit you. My back end stepped like a line dancer then, just going sideways. We've made the position though, and we should keep it now. P11. We'll take Kevin in P10. And then it becomes a factor of how quickly can they catch us on their fresh medium tyres when they put them on. And will they catch us quickly enough to push us into an extra stop to try and offset the gain that they make, or will they get stuck in traffic so much that we're able to just hang it out on these worn hards to the end of the race and get the job done. Currently 14% on the rear right after 17 laps. 17 laps, so just under 1% a lap, but we've still got a long way to go. So it might be that a soft tyre stint for about 8 or 9 laps is actually more beneficial overall race time wise to getting us to the end. Alonso's gone to his mediums.
Okay,
now Kev's gone to his as well. I was kind of hoping I'd get DRS on the next lap, to be honest, but there you go. Here comes that final phase that we were talking about. They're all going to be on their mediums now. In fact, it's only Kevin and those that were significantly further back. They've actually boxed, again, Joe and a couple of the others going an extra lap, which again just plays into our hands. Gasly in front of us in P8. He's still yet to stop for another compounder tyre as well, but obviously he's going to be significantly closer to us when he comes out the pits. So I'd expect at the moment, if we don't have to stop again, to finish 12th maybe. If we do have to stop again, we could get ourselves back to P10 potentially, but it would very much depend on how much traffic everyone else gets stuck in their final stint, and whether we're able to manage a gap as best as possible, to have as small a gap as possible to try and overturn when we come out, if we do the extra stop on that last set of soft tyres. Gasly is now in, Sainz is in and has actually gone hards. Alonso's gone soft, medium. Sainz and Russell have gone soft, medium, hard. So the wear on the Mercedes and the Ferrari is not as good as the wear on the Aston Martin, which is intriguing. So what will Gasly, Zhou and co do? Kevin's gone soft, medium. Everyone else has gone soft, medium. But they've gone soft, medium, hard. It must be that those that got through to Q3 had one less set of brand new soft tyres. That'll be why. They don't have another set of softs to go to, so they're forced into running the hard. That's fine.
Seconds.
Yeah, not the gap to the car in front I'm looking at, though, to be honest, Mark. 21 laps to go. Gasly is closing fast. Norris is battling with Perez now, as they're both on their hard set of tyres. And hopefully they continue to cost each other time. Gasly will get me, and it's not going to be much of a fight. I'm not going to be able to stick with him either. If I pit now, I'll come out 16th. Unfortunately, that group behind Norris and Perez are all a bit elongated out, i.e. they're able to make the most of their new tyres with clean air and not battling or stuck in a DRS train, fighting one another. So if we're to whack on a soft set at the end of the race, then come out 17th now, that said, then we're going to have a lot of making up to do. There's a bit of a gap from Checo back to our teammate Kevin. So at the moment, it would be my inclination to stay out and take this hard set to the end of the race. They will be very worn, but so will most of everyone else's be at least significantly enough worn that maybe we could hang on to the back of Perez and Perez and Norris, and cling on for a P10 or 11 or 12 in this race. Steady. It's going to cost me about half a second or more. Cost me about a full second. Oh, good. Hi, Pierre. He's with me now. That one mistake has cost me about 2 laps worth of time in hand. Pierre will get me, if not into turn 1, into turn 4. And that's going to be turn 1. But that's fine. So if I slot in behind him here, I will get DRS down to turn 4. I'm pretty sure Pierre Gasly is significantly fast enough than me to extend this gap beyond the second by the time we get to the end of the lap. But I'm going to try my absolute best to hang on to his DRS if I can, and maintain as much of a gap to Norris and Perez that are still battling within a tenth of each other as I possibly can. You can already see that Gasly's up to over 9 tenths, so no, I'm not going to have DRS on Pierre Gasly at the end of this lap. He's far too fast on those new mediums, but you probably knew that anyway. Checo's actually gapping Lando now as well. He's got about well, he's got more than half a second in hand. Oh, I desperately want to hold on to this World Championship point, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to. Elbows out with knives attached to the end of them. Maybe we can hold off Sergio Perez till the end. It might be a Fernando-esque style defence, a la Brazil last year in real life against Sergio Perez.
0.6 seconds.
Lando Norris is going to keep fighting hard for that position as well, and Kevin Magnussen is closing on the three of us too. It could yet be a P13 finish, not a P10. Hello. Perez and Norris really are changing places almost every single lap though. Each time I glance top left, one is half a second or so in front of the other. And then I glance again, what I feel like is half a lap later, and the other way round. And look, Kevin has joined that trio. They've been fighting so hard that Kevin has really caught them up. That was quite a sizable gap just 5 or 6 laps ago. Now he's right on them. 2 become 3. And when they inevitably catch me, 3 will become 4.
That gap ahead, please. 6.6.
A four-way fight for a championship point. Sergio Perez is in my DRS. 10 laps to go.
Okay, so gap to the car
Now it's game time.
8.0 seconds.
The tyre offset is so much so that it might be a bit of a one-sided game. I can get my elbows out as much as I like, but I have a feeling by lap 64, I might be 13th. Try and using all my battery to try, stay ahead. We managed to survive that round of 2 DRS straights. But I've got to do that another 9 times. Go on, Lando catch him, Lando catch him, Lando catch him. Lando's not catching him, here comes Checo.
5 seconds.
He's going for the lunge. He's turned into me, but thankfully we've escaped damage. And actually, we were ahead over the DRS detection point. Oh, Checo, what have you done, mate? That's not gone very well for you, has it? Now the Lando Norris is up the inside of Sergio Perez, and that battle will continue. And I'll try and get down the road a little bit. It's half a lap's worth of reprieve, but not going to last long because they'll be right back up behind me again by the end of this middle sector. Gives me a chance to rebuild my battery. I don't know as either of us got damage there. I definitely didn't. I think it was just wheel to wheel rather than wheel to body part. Thankfully. Every time up here now, though, I have significantly less battery than I did the lap before. Eventually, I'm going to run out of battery, and I'm just going to be too vulnerable. Every time we come round, I've got 10% less battery onto the straight. Lando's going for it the same way that Sergio did. Oof. I don't think he expected me to try and keep it up the inside there. I've got damage. He might have damage. I've got DRS. He's got track position. Oh, and track position is going to win out. Lando Norris now currently in P10. Thought I was well within my rights to try and fight my case there into the right-hander. It's not the first time we've had someone chop across us there and not actually acknowledge our presence. We are going to be, provided I don't make any mistakes here, we are going to be within DRS range of Lando Norris.
Use your overtake button
down to turn 1.
Some of this energy. Come on.
And I've also gotten a lot more battery back as well. So we might be able to take Lando back here. Maybe. Look at the speed differential, it's insane. It's going to push me up against the wall, I'm going to get it done. It's a purple sector 3. 5 laps to go. Try and break the toe a little bit if I can. Drift back to the racing line. got a horrible feeling I'm going to run out of battery on like lap 71 and get done to the line. Never mind, I'm getting done now. Orlando committed to the outside. I hadn't made my move yet, so I drifted out to the outside and was able to defend because he didn't anticipate that, but he's got DRS here and Lando's going to go bye-bye. I'm not going to use any battery. I'm going to try and defend from Checo. I can't defend that from Checo. He's just far too fast. It's fine. Now we play a waiting game. We're still in the mix. Now it's a case of building our battery back up. And who knows, it might even be a final lap run to the line with DRS and slipstream to try and take 1 or 2 or 3 cars to get that World Championship point yet still. Kevin on his mediums hasn't really made much of a move, to be honest. It's just been Lando and Checo. And Kevin's not really tried to get past either of them, really. I've got battery again. It's going to be 2 laps to go when we cross the line. And Lando's the one that's going to be in trouble now. We'll save some battery here as well. Checo's running out of it, as you can see. His battery light is flashing. Lando's gone defensive. This isn't over, lads. This is not over. I'm out of DRS. It might be over. Just dipped my right wheel, my right front on the grass on the way into Jinsao. Hopefully they battle hard enough. Oh, as Kevin comes to me. Well, we'll have DRS on Kevin. And Perez has just taken Lando for that final World Championship point right now. I said I fear by lap 64 I might be in P13. It's taken till lap 71, but unfortunately lap 71 is the last bloody lap. So it's going to be at least a 3-way run to the line. I don't think I'm going to have the pace to keep up to make it a 4-way run to the line. All that fighting, all that battling, and unfortunately in the end, I just haven't got the tyres or the battery power to get it done, but Kevin might. There might still be a point on the table for the team here. He's on the medium tyre. Don't make a mistake here, Ches. Don't make a mistake. Ah! I really shouldn't flashback, should I? I'm not gonna. Well, I will, but I won't. I'll flashback just so we can watch what happens to the line. But I'm not going to make any more positions. Oh, what an anticlimax, says you moron! Nothing's actually happening anyway. Perez is just going to get it done. Fernando Alonso's won the race and we'll come home P13. Judging by what happened with those 3, I don't think I'd have made any places anyway. Sergio Perez saved his battery. Lando saved his battery. Kevin saved his battery. And I was rubbish. Still, though, made for an entertaining Grand Prix, and we were able to get some content out of it. Fernando Alonso takes the win ahead of who? Because it was Charles Leclerc that was winning the race last time I looked. Ahead of Charles Leclerc. Actually, no, ahead of Oscar Piastri. Ahead of Charles Leclerc. If we look at the not the standings. If we look at the results for the race, it was Alonso from Piastri by 8/10, who was only a further second. No, who was less than 2/10 ahead, 3/10 ahead of Charles Leclerc. The top 7 cars covered by 3 seconds over the line. Then Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Sergio Perez. Oh, get your bottle emotes out in live chat. I unfortunately did not pull it off. It would have been the challenge of all challenges if we'd have pulled it off. We didn't quite do it, unfortunately. The recognition is now very heavily swayed back Kevin's way. But that is because of Haas finding out about Ferrari, isn't it? I was at 52. I'm now down at 46. It's cost me 6% recognition with the team because they found out about me talking to Ferrari and they weren't too happy about it. I'm annoyed at myself for making that mistake into the final corner, but so desperate was I to try and have the run to the line. But it turns out I probably wouldn't have had the run to the line anyway, judging by what the other 3 did regardless. So let's not get too caught up in it, shall we? We've actually protected everything on the chassis side now. Nearly protected everything on the durability side now as well. Get that done. 185. We will have protected everything for Haas for next season by the end of probably the weekend after next, which is good news for the team. We're going to get some more resources here. Actually, we're going to get 2 sets of more resources before we get to the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and we might be able to get something else done. Magnussen's wheel covers have worked as well.
To say that our new parts have come through without any issue, so they'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Lovely, lovely. And I can do either of these. So after Las Vegas, we will be fully prepared with Haas for next season. Or rephrase, we will have fully prepared Haas for next season, even though we anticipate not being in a Haas next season to take advantage of it. We can only pray that Ferrari have made similar gains. Otherwise, we might end up going significantly backwards with Ferrari, which would not be the point of going to Ferrari, really, would it? We'll go to Las Vegas because it's a night race and because it's in the middle of the bloody desert. I imagine it'll be dry. It might be chilly, as it was in real life, but I anticipate that it should be dry in Las Vegas, and indeed it is. Actually, no, it's not. Rain at the very end of the Las Vegas Grand Prix. How is my luck? Actually starts overcast, then the clouds go away, and then right at the very end, whoosh, down comes the rain. Okay. And it twists yet once more. Oh, man! Can't get any luck at the minute, can I? I'm P10 in the driver's standings. I'd be curious to know how I'm comparing with Carlos Sainz. So, at the beginning of the season, he went 4 straight P7s. We obviously were struggling at that time trying to figure out the difficulty. We then figured out the difficulty after China. In fact, it may even have been Imola where we figured out the difficulty. And, well, Carlos Sainz actually got a podium in Miami and then a P5. But towards the latter stages, I got a P8 when he got a P4. I got a P4 when he got a P7. I DNF'd in the United States, but that wasn't my fault. I was right behind him in the States as well, so we were comparatively with him there. Mexico, nowhere. And he got P11. No, he got P7 in Brazil, and we got P13. I don't know, I still feel like I've done enough in a significantly worse car to justify being in the reckoning for that Ferrari seat. I don't know. He's leaving the team in real life anyway, so I think I can justify it anyway. Regardless, 3 races to go. Las Vegas, Qatar and Abu Dhabi. And next up for us will be Qatar. No, will be Las Vegas. Join me in the desert, under the stars. In fact, all 3 of the next races are night races. So we'll barely see some sunshine between now and the end of the race. End of the season. Hopefully our performances do show a little bit of sunshine. But that's yet to come. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you still enjoyed that. Let me actually remember to go difficulty up to 105 for Las Vegas, and hopefully we're more competitive there than we were in Brazil. But we still made an entertaining episode, I think, for Brazil, so fingers crossed you enjoyed it regardless. I'll see you next time.